The number 4. This is what we're talking about, the number 4. The number 4 is 4 directions, 4 corners. It represents structure, order, law, time, limits, and the unlimits, balance. Number 4 is a very powerful number because number 4 represents Saturn and also Uranus. Saturn is Cronus. Cronus is the father of time. Cronus or Chrono is the father of time, which means limitation. But also 4 represents the Grim Reaper with the scythe. You got a scythe in his hand. The scythe is sort of like a sickle. Time, like Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, which is 4. 13 is 4. But also you got, in Revelation, the 4th horseman was the pale horseman. Yes, he comes like the Grim Reaper. They all represent death. Just like your Friday the 13th. Killing and killing and killing and killing. Death. So 4 is an earthly number, and this is why you got Saturn. Saturn, Kronos, is over the earth, which is time. But also, you have limitations, struggles. Saturn represents struggle, limitation, even in astrology. We know. All it means is you will struggle, you'll go through hard times, and eventually you will elevate, you will become the teacher, the experience that will grow. So death means transformation in metaphysics, which means death of your ego, of your job, or whatever your situation is, to new beginnings. It's over with. So death is how when we go to sleep at night, we be in a death state, which is unconscious, and then our body heals through that time period, and then when we wake up, we're reborn again. So death represents the letter D, which is doorway. So 4 also represents the letter M, which is 13, but also 4 represents B, which is master number 22. So 4 is all of these, 13 to 22. 4 is just the foundation, it's the structure. Now you add 9 months on, then the 13 is born. 13 represents transformation through death. Death of your ego, the way you were living to something new. You transform it, you elevate it, growth. But also, it can mean a physical death. 4 can mean a physical death. Also, master number 22 can mean a physical death, but on a big level. 22 is much bigger and stronger and powerful. So 13 will be like the doorway between 4 and master number 22. Now, 22, when you reach that level, it's your higher self, elevating to do something big, to bring unity upon everyone on earth, to build corporations of businesses, not only businesses, but of things in general. It's a big number of manifestation. So, you got Capricorn, which is Cronus, Saturn, which is Cronus, my fault. So Cronus killed his father Uranus and his mother Gaia. Now, Uranus also represents number 4, which is Aquarius planet, right? Which means higher mind, higher self, humanity, right? So even Cronus went through that situation. We're dealing with humanity, time. Because 4 could be a suicidal number. People could want to commit suicide. They could be depressed. It's a very serious number. People are serious. It's Capricorn. So also, once you master all that you go through, all the struggles, all your pain, all the hardship, 4 can be valid too. So, and dangerous. 4 is one of the most dangerous numbers. If you know this knowledge, you can master the number 4, escape death. That's all it means. 4 also is the 4th letter D, and D in ancient Egypt or Chemic language is door. And also door in Greek language, the other language is delta. Delta in Greek language, delta. So you're in a delta state, you're trying to elevate. Delta represents the triangle, which is 3 levels up, which gives you the 7 energy vortex. The 4 is the doorway, the heart. 2, to reach what? When you open the door, you're in your higher self chakras. Also, you can open the other door and go to your lower self chakra. So, but we're talking about 7 up. Delta is the delta state up. Your mind will come mastery, intuition, your focus, your vision, psychic ability. You got supernatural powers beyond. Neath. You can use all your gifts, all your powers. You'll be very skilled when you master that number 4. That's the delta state. And delta represents door, and door represents the letter D. So, with that being said, the Grim Reaper represents 4. Also, in Revelation, the pale horseman. The 4th horseman, which is the pale horseman, represents the letter 4. 4. And it represents the same thing, which is death. Death. Like I said, death, physical death, is a force, which means it's a natural occurrence where everything would die and come back to life because nothing really died. So with that being said, humans will leave, but then more humans come. Same thing with plants. So that's all it represents. So a lot of times you see the number 4 with people who initiated in Freemasonry. That's the start of Freemasonry. It means secret. Secret. A lot of people get initiated on that number 2, which is 4. You see 4, or you'll see the month of Cancer, or the month of April, or you see, because 4 represents the death card in tarot, which is Scorpio. The Scorpio represents death, life, transformation, rebirth, reborn, like that. Because people with Scorpio always changing their personality, changing how they be, trying to be their better self. So that's what 4 represents: transformation. Endings, ending something, in a relationship, ending a business, ending something to bring something new. So when we talk about the number 4, a lot of Freemasons use that, say we stand on a square, which is 4. 4 seasons, 4 directions. So they're saying they are the master of themselves, they are the master of their destiny, they're the master of the 4 corners of the globe. Also represents the elements: air, earth, fire, water. So whoever have this knowledge, they can master the elements. And once you master the 4, you master the 4 elements, you master all the 4 directions. All 4 directions, because 4 represents Capricorn, which is Saturn Cronus, which means you're the authority figure. You can master, once you master that and control yourself, before it represents discipline, patience, and through patience, discipline, you will achieve. And through consistency and persistence, you will succeed. Through all the struggles, the pain, even through deaths of, it could be your people, anybody deaths, you will win. But also it can mean people sacrificing, people dying under the number 4, sacrificing so you can win, and things of that nature. That's why they use number 4. So 4 is energy, feet, and energy. Energy, feet, and energy, for the better or for the worse. So 4 can be used in a way, any way, or 4. A lot of presidents are born under the number 22. That being said, especially George Washington. Understand that number 4 is also Cancer, sign of Cancer, which means loyalty and brotherhood, roots, you true to family, stuff like that. So now you understand where Freemasonry got that from. But also the owl. The owl is the 13th letter. The 13th letter in ancient Egyptian. It represents number 4, death, transformation. It represents secrecy. It represents insight, wisdom. So when this group, a gathering of Freemasonry come together, the owl represents secrecy between their brotherhood to keep things together, structure. So also it takes over the world because it travels at night. So it sees, it knows when death is here, it knows the time of things. It's always seeing. A lot of people die under the number 4 or 13 or 22. Tupac died September the 13th, which is 4. Now, there's a big incident happened where King Philip the 4th, number 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. King Philip the 4th, tortured, arrested the Knight Templars and destroyed the Knight Templars supposedly on October the 13th, which is 4. Now, this was the Knight Templar Last Supper, but they didn't die. They hid in secrecy. And this is where you get the movie Jason from, Friday the 13th. Jason is the Dark Force, like the Grim Reaper.